So, in great honor of introducing my brand new and highly critically acclaimed series, and also launching the maiden voyage of my highly original content on this media platform, I felt it only appropriate to discuss one of the first games I ever played that filled me with such a deep dread that I couldn't muster the strength to go any further than the first part of each chapter. And I can hear you from here. No, it was not due to a complete lack of skill. Anyways, the aforementioned video game is Jurassic Park 2: The Chaos Continues for the Super Nintendo. Now, implying you didn't know this already, the game itself is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up in similar likeness to Contra, I suppose, and it includes some of our favorite scenes from the original film, such as the scene where Dr. Grant takes on a private army with an arsenal of weapons such as a machine gun, rocket launcher, and laser rifle. Oh, and also, yes, I do think that's Dr. Grant, by the way, because he's the only character in the original series that I remember wearing a blue shirt and khakis. Anyways, the interesting plot aside, the game itself actually is pretty damn good, if rather punishing, but that's not the point. The point is the game is terrifying. Now, the peculiar thing about games by Ocean back in the day, or at least the ones I've played, I'm not a game historian, was just how jarringly the tone changes from one area to the next. One minute I'm out venturing and misty, lonely, and probably cold forest, fighting my way to whatever the objective is this time, because to be honest, I didn't read the mission briefing. And the next thing I know, I find myself in an empty, dim-lit, abandoned building with the soundtrack that's here to reassure me that, yes, I am alone in an abandoned building surrounded by potential predators, and look at that, they're already trying to kill me. Now, don't get me wrong here, the raptors and various other reptilian creatures are present in the rest of the game, really, and yes, they are terrifying almost anywhere, but this is especially true when you're trying to navigate the dark corridors of a haunted, abandoned building with nothing more but the ominous soundtrack to accompany you on these endeavors. And then you hear that fucking roar followed by a pouncing velociraptor. And it comes absolutely from out of nowhere, and your options are to die fighting or alternatively die. And you know, I'm not too sure if this was intentional or not, but there are moments throughout the game where there won't be any dinosaurs in sight, but you'll still be hearing that dreaded sound coming from off screen. Just like a heads up letting you know that your efforts at that moment are as good as over, and all you can hope for is that by the end of your encounter you'll have enough health to last you another surprise attack. And then just to top it all off, as you're navigating this abandoned building, you'll have more than your fair share of encounters with the Dilophosaurus, and yes, I do mean specifically the Dilophosaurus, standing there motionless, making that goddamn puff sound as a projectile vomits at you, throwing its hat into the ring of who gets to ruin your day first. And then usually also followed by a surprise visit from our favorite raptors. So now hopefully you're well seasoned in killing velociraptors, and oh shit, looks like you're in hell, and guess who came with you? More raptors. At this point, it can't possibly get any more relentless than that. Well, aside from the bad pterodactyl hybrids attacking you from every angle while you're reenacting that epic scene from the movie where Dr. Grant traverses a foggy and very much hostile mountain. That, or, you know, fending off giant wasps. Now, at this point, I could tell you all about the rest of the game, such as the incredibly unforgiving segments in which you have to survive a barrage of gunfire while simultaneously trying to survive dinosaur encounters, or how when you're trying to survive dinosaur encounters, you have to be mindful not to wipe out the entire map or you lose the entire goddamn game. Or maybe how you're minding your own goddamn business and the RPG man starts unloading everything he's got at you before you even realize he's there. Or about how some way, somehow, your character's actually supposed to be Dr. Grant. But that's aside the point. All in all, Jurassic Park 2 for the Super Nintendo is one of the games I find surprisingly horrifying, and the sheer unexpectedness only serves to amplify that bone rattle factor. Now, not that it's much of a scary game in its own right, but goddamn those raptors are horrifying.